I want to tell you about the practice behind the Consumer Defense Lab. And as I mentioned in our last video, we teach something that no one else is teaching, and we take you from start to finish. Now, hopefully the start for you is having a contract, you feel like something isn't right, and we start the administrative process. You are still in honor and paying on that contract, even if you feel like you shouldn't be because something's not right. Now, we do help people who maybe felt like something wasn't right with their contract, they stopped paying, or maybe they couldn't pay and they're in danger of getting their car repoed or their house foreclosed on. But it's much easier to start our method earlier on in the process. And what we use that no one else uses is what's called the Presumption Killer method. Now, you, as you're paying on that contract and as you sign that contract, you're making the presumption that they're being honest with you, that everything's on the up and up, that you should be paying on that contract. They have every right to collect. They have every right to come take your car if you don't pay. You're making all of those presumptions. And you don't really read your contract, if you're being honest. You try, but you just don't understand most of it. So you're relying on them to tell you everything's good. Just go ahead and sign. We're making sure everything's fair. We're doing what's in your best interest, right? So that's the presumption that most consumers are making. The debt collectors and the dealerships are making the presumption that you're not actually reading the contract, that you don't know the law, that you don't know your rights, and that as they pass that note on, maybe they securitize it, maybe they sell it to a third-party debt collector, they're making the assumption that you don't know what's happening or what remedy might be possible for you if they don't keep the right paperwork. And I will tell you, as an informed consumer who started asking questions, a lot of these debt collectors, a lot of these mortgage companies, a lot of these vehicle financing companies, when you start asking them for the paperwork to prove that they have the right to collect on you, they just don't have what they need to have. And that's what we're going to teach you, how to look at that information and know when something's not right and say, hey, you're collecting on me, you're collecting on this contract, but here's a violation, here's a violation, here's a violation. Now what are we going to do about it? And again, I'll tell you from experience, when you start asking those questions and saying those things, weird things start happening with your account. So you have to know how to respond every step of the game so that you can win and not lose. And where it really gets dicey is when you start filing complaints and going to court, because then you are presenting yourself before a judge in a courtroom, in a court of law, where if you start bringing arguments that are not sound, your case could die, it could fold, and you do have the possibility that you could get sanctioned. And there are people who have been in certain sovereign citizen movements, who have followed certain UCC codes improperly, that have been sanctioned. There are people out there who have used 1099 methods and filed paperwork fraudulently with the IRS who have gone to jail. And our methods are proven. Our lead faculty has gone to court multiple times and has won. And I don't know of any other teacher or guru who does consumer law, who works with this information, that has gone clear to court and through the entire court process and won multiple cases. Most of the people out there are talking a big talk and sound like they know what they're talking about. And then when you start looking through their court files, through their processes, you start to find holes, or you pay a lot of money for a class or a package or a process or a template, and there's no one to help you. So you get yourself to a certain point and you paid them a ton of money and they leave you high and dry and you never hear from them again. That's not what we're here for. We're here to educate people who want to commit, be disciplined, study, and learn the process for themselves so you never have to rely on a guru again. Now, we'll be here to help you along the way, tutor you, answer questions, but we are not attorneys. We do not give legal advice. And we want you to take the personal responsibility to learn for yourself, because until you learn for yourself, you will, and you know that something's wrong, you will continue to be taken advantage of by gurus when you get yourself into a situation like not paying your bills and then not knowing how to get remedy, or signing documents a particular way and then going to court and claiming sovereign citizen and getting sanctioned. We don't want that to happen to people. So we want to teach you the best method that we have learned. We're not saying it's the only method, but it has been proven, it has been pressure tested, and any law or statute that we teach has been checked with 2 sources. Any case law is always checked. So we are not throwing out information that we just pulled out of the sky that, you know, oh, here, fill this paper out and do a 1099 and then you're going to get something for free. This is proven results, pressure tested results, real education that you can learn and take and do for yourself. So check out the link, ironbacksolutions.com. Reach out to one of us and we can answer questions, or join our consumer defense lab and start learning for yourself. Maybe you want to start by buying an ebook and you can see how detailed the information is and how much you will learn just by reading one of the ebooks about how to file in court, how to read a contract. We will be teaching many of these things throughout the lab, throughout our time here. And some of the information we will post on this channel, and some of it will be on our Go Collab where it's behind a paywall. We have different tiers. You can join at the trial or the lowest tier. Check it out. See if it's right for you. If not, no offense. That's fine. We only want people who really want to be here, who really want to learn, and who really want to do for themselves and can contribute to our community. So we hope to see you there, and let us know if you need anything.